There's a ceiling to the.
Yeah, there's only one note you can play.
I'm going to give them all a second to hop in, guys, and change me over to D&D.
Give me 1 second. My webcam spontaneously erupted, and I need to put it out.
You mean turn it on?
No, it caught on fire.
No, I don't believe that.
I looked at it, and it just immolated itself. It was really weird.
Just rub it and call it dirty names.
Well, the only thing I can rub it with is its rubbing alcohol. I think it helps with fires, right?
Boy, oh boy, that just went right over your head.
Fuck, man. Made it to number 2. Shit sucks.
Fuck, man, is that anything like Jumpman?
Yeah. That boy up to something.
What's up, Elusive? How's it going?
Oh, it's the wit.
Why can't I ever find this?
Way more disheveled when I'm wearing a collared shirt. Lesson learned.
Oh yeah, I probably don't need this on anymore.
Well, your cameras aren't on. I've turned them off for right now. But yeah, if you need to change, now's that time.
No, I'm good. I'll stick with it. It fits my alcoholic narrative.
Yeah, no worries. I'm not going to go ahead and strip on cam.
Wait, we're not supposed to?
No, that's for Christmas.
Gotcha.
Bubs, you see my cam just fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You definitely do look like a TV drama shot in an operating room, but other than that, you're good.
Yeah, so...
Okay, I'll be right back.
Oh god. Need to get a new mouse.
I open my character sheet before I forget to do that, and then you ask me for a perception roll, and I'm like, fuck, wait.
I know. I know that I need to get these things, Lone Wolf. I also need to change it from Deia to Thelsa. Just trust me when I say that things have been really busy in the Bub house.
Yeah, it sounded like it. Did you get your phone call?
My phone call?
Were you waiting a phone call?
Oh, yes. And no, I didn't get it. I got a text message saying that they would have to reschedule for tomorrow, meaning I'll have to wait again for the same exact thing tomorrow.
That's shitty.
Oh, wait, Christy's already given us good stuff?
She's trying to. As soon as the two slackers can figure out what's going on with their cams.
Do you note I am not one of the slackers?
Almost knocked my beer over. That would have been really sad.
Yes, that would have been a party foul, most mighty.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of important shit on that desk.
That does not taste very good. We're gonna get rid of that ASAP.
Really wish everything just had a dark mode.
What are we
alternative
getting
on
rid
it.
of?
Yep. That's because it's not good.
That's not...
It's a jar of pepperoni.
Be right back.
Pepperoni
Jar
comes in
of pepperoni?
jars?
Yeah, that sounds a little odd.
When it's packed with, it was an individual package for cheese and pepperoni.
Okay. No, I'll try not to judge.
It's cheese and pepperoni. What is there to judge? I'm waiting. What is there to judge?
A lot, actually. Now that I think about it.
Cheese and
That sounds like a meal
pepperoni?
that I would. Yeah, no, that sounds like a meal that I would eat after waking up at 12 p.m. in a dark room when it's way too fucking hot outside, and I'm sitting in clothes from like 3 days ago.
Have y'all never had a cheese and pepperoni tray? Like with never. You've
No.
never been to any social gathering where they give meat and cheese and crackers.
Oh, I've seen-
Typically,
I've been to a place that-
typically it's not
Never-
pepperoni and
never in a
cheese. It's like
jar.
summer sausage. Yeah, you're definitely describing a Lunchable, and that's like
It's
my
not a
scenario for
Lunchable. It's
Lunchable
it
is
sounds
the
like a-
saddest thing ever.
Oh, well, you know, it's not really Lunchable, but we sell them. They're like called protein P3 packs or whatever they are. It's basically
I have
like
those.
Lunchable. Yeah.
Those are nice. They're little snack packs.
Those are
smell-
decent, actually.
They smell
A little bit of
awful
jerky.
when you open them, but they're good. That fucking cured turkey and cured ham, just
Yeah,
like
no,
the
it smells-
stench is.
it didn't
is
smell
bad.
very. It didn't smell very good. It tasted okay, but
Mhm.
something was a little off about it. I was like, no, I'm just not going to eat you.
No, pepperoni and cheese is totally normal to eat, but pepperoni and cheese shouldn't come in a jar.
Oh my
He's
god!
really
It was packed
hung
in
up
a
on this jar
plastic.
thing.
Yeah, you are. You fucking really. You know what? It came in a toboggan. Okay.
That makes it even worse.
It came at night.
Mm-hmm.
While I was asleep.
There he is.
You got a haircut. Actually, you got several cut.
Wait, what? What?
Hmm?
Karami, what did you do?
I've got my first haircut since Black Friday.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Fucking starting to sound like me. I get semi-annual haircuts.
I've been debating whether or not I want to do the haircut thing, or if I want to try and.
See, I was
Yeah,
getting
I've
to
been
the point-
thinking about it too. You know,
It was
get a
it
little
was
chopped off.
actually, my hair was getting to the point where it was poking me in the eyes when I'm at work, and I had to put my hair back up in my beanie because it was starting to annoy the shit out of me. And I was
Don't
tired
do
of
that.
wearing a beanie to work every day because I was getting hot. It
Well, yeah,
sucks.
it's fucking Florida getting into the
There's-
summer.
There's no fucking AC in Target. That shit sucks. Fuck that.
Trust me, I know. I worked at a Home Depot. They fucking
Yeah.
did not turn that AC. They had AC. They just didn't turn it on.
Yeah, no, they don't want to. Like,
Karami, I just want to point out that I've already got a mechanical on me, so don't waste the rep.
I can do whatever I want. So you think you know the system? You don't. It's prone to change at a drop of a hat.
changes the rules to everyone can only have one mechanical quirk except for Sniper.
Any, can you plug it in the back?
Oh, right.
Can you talk?
Yeah, I can talk.
Okay.
Just I didn't want to talk over everyone else. But
What
no,
else is plugged
regardless,
into your USB?
keyboard, microphone, and mouse. And when I plug my camera in, regardless of what else I have plugged in or what orientation, it's overdrawing power on my USB boards.
Have you
Every time.
have you talked to the camera company, the tech support for them?
No, not yet.
You should probably do that.
I didn't know it was my camera until today when I was doing one thing at a time to see what was fucking it up.
Right, makes sense.
So I don't know what the fuck's going on, but it's been annoying.
What kind of camera do you have anyway?
The Logitech one, 1080.
C920.
Yes.
Gotcha. That's weird. I've never heard of that issue before. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but
I have no idea.
maybe they'll have some answers for you.
Okay. Thank you, Lone. I got that. Karami, go ahead and whisper me here. Christy, whisper me for everything that you've given in as well. Is there any way that you can like join maybe off of like a phone on Zoom? Is that a thing or?
Yeah. I'll work something out.
Okay.
Can you quick sell your soul?
You got any USB ports on your monitor?
No.
Damn,
I haven't had any day.
But I have my laptop.
that'll work.
Grab that.
Hey, bub, can I have my donation in rep?
Pardon?
Can I have my payback in rep, please?
What payback?
Me catching up on the game.
No.
Can I get that in rep, please?
No. No, you
Damn it.
can't. That's not how that works. Never has worked that way.
I know. But you know.
Depends. Can Bub pay his power bill with rep?
Yes.
Find out next week.
As I've been saying, rep will suddenly become a no. Hey, no. Don't have him tell me no. It'll become a global currency, usable by all.
Yeah, it's going to become the new Dogecoin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so according to Christy, she says that Annie gets a cure critical, and everybody else gets cure mods.
Neat.
Okay.
Nice.
I will
So
take note of
Fire
this.
mods get
2d4
healed.
plus 5.
Wait, what?
It's a 2d4 plus 5, right?
2d8. 2d8.
Yeah,
Sorry.
2d8 plus 3.
Thinking about
2d8 plus 3.
Plus 47.
God damn it. Red.
whatchamacallit.
For the record, I would highly recommend you guys do this. Hang on, I'm gonna post a screenshot in Discord.
I'm waiting for you to screenshot roll 20.
Not exactly. But, I mean, that is also a good idea. That.
See, I have it factored in because that's my existence.
I only did that because I got tired of having to ask every single time I got a potion
You
exactly
said-
what the value was.
Oh yeah, I've already got them on mine.
You said the rest of us got a cure mod?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
By the by, how do you screenshot just a particular portion?
Print screen.
Print
You
screen.
can either use the snipping tool, or you can use light shot or Gyalzo.
Yeah, because I end up having to do print screen, put it in
Paint.
You know,
paint.
you can, yeah.
Here, hold here.
If you want to use Windows proprietary, you can just do snipping tool, and it does the same exact job. But print screen
I'm
lets
sending
you upload it and or copy it to your clipboard, or just save it.
Here you go. Check your DMs. I slid into them.
Oh, Sugoi.
Okay, I'm sliding out.
I'm gonna leave now.
All right.
Slide on
Thoroughly
in.
disgusted?
Slide on out. You do the hokey pokey and all around.
Excuse me.
And I should order another pizza.
Oh, we had pizza tonight too. It was real good.
I had
I,
spaghetti.
That's also real good. Can't-
Yeah, but I had it at like 4 o'clock.
That's more of a reason to complain.
I'm still forever haunted by that jalapeno pizza.
I
I was talking to
Yes,
the
yes.
just about pizza.
I don't know anybody else who's ever ate a green pizza.
No, like she was like, oh, I wonder if I could put some jalapenos on my pizza, and I was like, oh god, no, not again, please. And she's like, what are you going on about? I'm like, I had a green pizza. It was, oh my god, never again.
Coated in fucking jalapeno.
But you know,
Juice.
the good thing is, if I come up there and we do go there again, I'm going for a green bell pepper one. That one I'm fucking down for.
Yeah, it won't be nearly as spicy. Tell you that much.
Look, I've been like super on a green bell kick for like I've been putting it in subs, like anywhere where I can order it, I've been throwing it in my food.
Shit's good for you, man.
It's fucking delicious. It's crunchy and it doesn't have any of like an actual taste. It's just crunchy.
Don't try to tell that to my dad. He can he hates it so much that he can taste it in everything he eats. If there's even like a trace of green pepper in it,
Just
he doesn't want it.
Okay,
see, I can do
Red,
that with mustard.
for what it's
That's-
worth,
that's-
thank you so much. I love you right now.
Those are words I didn't think I'd ever hear come out of your mouth.
No, I've never heard of Light Shot before, and that is actually really cool.
It's what we've
It's-
been using for like
It's
4.5
yeah,
years.
3-5 years, somewhere in there. Like it was one of the first things all of us downloaded.
Mhm.
You know what used it first? Rummy did.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, she used it before us. Man, what a fucking trip.
I don't know, Wit. I mean, you really like those nachos I had that one game. Why don't we talk about those nachos?
What, do you not want to imagine really delicious nacho cheese draped over a nice bed of tortilla chips? Just perfectly salted?
Something about the way you said draped really. Yeah.
Do weird things?
No, I mean, more like bad things, but you get the idea.
Were you in the call the other night when we discovered how the timelines work between me and Sniper?
No, I was probably asleep by then.
I think it was me, Sloth, and Bub, and we figured out that we're me and Sniper. And
When was this, like last night?
yeah, it was the other night. Not last night. I think it was the night before.
Gotcha.
We were talking about the alternate theory. It was somewhere along the lines of I'm the before part right now, and I either turn into Shake or I turn into Sniper.
Anytimes too.
Yeah, we're
And
waiting
there-
for the point of divergence.
Exactly, and then at some point I'll become you or I'll become Shake, and then there will be another me, and I will correspond with him, but I can't tell him about this because they eventually have to experience it themselves.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Annie, can you close out the Zoom on your desktop?
Yeah, Karami, that's what we figured out. We figured out that I'm more along the path of Sniper.
He can only be so lucky.
I mean, that way I don't lose the wife and the kids in the house. So I got that going.
Considering that I don't have any of those anyway, so...
Look,
Yeah,
I don't know
you're not
Shake
gonna
that
lose
well,
anything.
so I'm a little confused.
Okay, I believe Shake has.
No, there's not going to be another.
I
He is
believe
going to
Shake
become.
has none of these, but it is my belief that he comes from the timeline where he got divorced and he lost the wife, the house, and the kids.
So I had my dinner all
But then-
set up,
Tell me more.
There's a whole lore to this, man.
and my
It was
dinner
deep.
was brisket from City Barbecue, some cornbread. I had some jalapeno chips to go with it, and the pepperoni cheese thing. I'm not even going to call it a jar because fucking Sniper will lose his goddamn mind. And I was like, this is a little bit of an odd mix, but this could be really enjoyable. I open up the pepperoni and cheese. It's all gone bad. Throw that away. I empty out the bag of chips. Lacey ate them all, and all that's there is crumbs. My bread is molten hot and burns my tongue, and there's not enough brisket, and I'm just like, this is the saddest dinner ever, man. So I walk
Throw
out.
that shit in the freezer for like 5 minutes.
I
Yeah,
walk
Tiny
out.
Tim is trying to go ahead and give you a handout.
Yeah, I walk out to Leslie. She's sitting down with the cats. Like, she's surrounded by all the animals, and I was like, baby, will you please go get me some tacos? And she was like, can you wait 70 minutes for the laundry to be done? I was like, no, I can't. She's like, can you wait 40 minutes for this episode to be over? I was like, I really can't. She's like, it's okay. I've seen this episode 3 times anyway. I was like, God
What was
damn
she
it.
watching?
Or in High School Host Club.
Yes. Good choice.
So
Sounds like a show.
she's gonna
Wait,
get me
Host
tacos.
Club?
It's,
What?
It's a classic.
It is. It is a classic. It's an oldie but a goodie. Yeah, or in High School Host Club.
They have
Theme
clubs
song.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been a thing for a long time, actually.
I've never heard of hose clubs.
Really.
I almost don't believe of that.
Neither do I. You've never heard.
Perhaps I need to go ahead and define this. Did you say hose is in HOES?
Host.
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 Oh!
Oh my god.
Can't
One
take
of
your
those
dinner.
moments where enunciation comes in real handy.
It does. I can confirm this.
Or realize that despite the degradation of America, they don't have hoe clubs in high schools.
Can confirm. No, they're just called the FFA.
I hate the FFA, dude.
What? Okay, I need to hear more about this.
The
What
FFA are
drives a
such
man to hate-
jackasses.
To hate the FFA.
Okay, all right, hold on. So, here's my story, right? And this, I'm sticking to it. I don't care what anybody says. The future farmers of America are jackasses. The whole lot of them. They're all jackasses. So there was a point in
go
time where Leslie and I, we lived on only her income. And she used to work for Cracker Barrel. You know, where old people go to reminisce about things before they croak.
Right.
Well, just so happens that people that go to the future, or that are FFA, Future Farmers of America, also like Cracker Barrel.
Right.
And they would
makes
come
sense.
in as groups of not like 5, but like 95.
Oh my god.
Like, we're talking, they empty a tour bus.
No
And-
reservations, just walk in.
Yeah,
Show up.
just walk in. And when they would go in, they would order all of their food, and they're all 17-year-olds, 19-year-olds, and they're all like, they're basically assholes because they're 17 and 19-year-olds. They want bottomless gravy, and they want like biscuits for days. They want free drink refills, like all the time. Like, we're talking just after. It's like, I'm here. I'll be here for the next 30 seconds. Tell me everything you need. One person will say, I'll take a Coke refill. And no one else will say anything. And then they'll complain. Like, Leslie cried so much because of these jackass kids. And every time they would go in, she would get sat, like, they weren't allowed more than a 14 top. A 14 top is 14 people to a series of tables that you have to take control of. Leslie would get multiple 14 tops. And between 2 of these 14 tops, we're talking 28 people, after they gave the bill, they tipped $5. Not per person, total. They don't believe in tipping. When asked about it, that was their response. The FFA doesn't tip. We don't believe in tipping. That made me want to set their fucking bus on fire and send them down a ravine.
That's when you go to take a smoke break and suddenly their tires have a lot less air in them.
Yeah, I'm not a... I don't believe in tipping. You get fucked, Kirk. You definitely believe in tipping. I have never been so, like, vehemently appalled by a mindset of you don't believe in tipping. I would spit in their infinite gravy.
No, I'll say this much. If I am anywhere else in the world, I don't believe in tipping because I think America is the only country where we
tipping is
pay
natural.
servers a less than living wage on the expectation of tips. If you're in the United States and you do not tip, you, sir, are an asshole.
You don't believe it. Watch the first 10 minutes of Reservoir Dogs. That's my philosophy on tipping. No. There is not a film in the world that will convince me that $2.18 an hour is a living wage. Period.
No. I mean, I understand where the whole argument in the beginning of Reservoir Dogs comes from. Yes, they should, but they don't. So you tip.
We tip for over and above service. Yeah, see, that makes sense.
Hello?
But
There we go.
the fact that they only make $2.18 an hour is pathetic. If they made wage, then it would be a different story, but it's not the case.
Yeah, I mean, I would much rather go ahead and pay more than necessarily my meal is worth to make sure that my server has a living wage, as opposed to, having to go ahead and have that moral dilemma after I get my check of, well, I want to go ahead and tip them, but
It's not a matter of that. I was just raised to. I tip all the time for just about everything, every service. I tip my waitress, I tip my barber. Hell, I tip my mechanic. If I have a guy that's doing work for me and I trust him reliably, I want him to keep doing right by me, so I don't know, I just tip.
Yeah.
Tip your artists. Everyone that does a service for you. Tip them.
shit,
My
I
barber
tip up.
usually with my barber, if my haircut's usually like 25, I'll usually do 10 to 15.
I tip 10 every time I go to the barber.
Mine charges me as a kid because he's cut my hair since I was 10. So he refuses to acknowledge me as anything other than a kid. But I just give him a 20 anyways, and he just gets the rest.
But yeah,
I also give $5 to delivery people all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I tip Bub as often as I can.
Yeah, people in Canada actually get paid money, so
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
we still tip whenever we
It's
go to a
monopoly money
restaurant
though.
or
Is the
something.
thing.
I mean, usually it's credit, and you don't pay with cash, but
But I mean,
irrelevant.
you have to be careful where you go because some places see it as like super offensive.
yeah, no, in Canada it's more along the lines of it's understood if you can't tip, but you should.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
It
not,
sucks. Yeah,
you
it
get paid
sucks,
normally
but
here. That's the thing.
all right. So Shackled City episode 128, Dungeons and Dragons. That's updated. Let me get a tweet out, and then we can kick this off. Sorry for the delay, guys.
Mm-hmm.
This whole day has been a fucking delay on my life. I want to blame this on Sniper, but I'm just not feeling the mood to be mean.
But see, Kirk, they're
Aw.
not going to not
Thank
pay
you
for
so much.
it.
I agree. Stop being greedy. Pay people more than $2 an hour. Yeah.
Unless there's a giant global revolution of it happening, it's probably not going to happen.
I mean, realistically, I would say
global doesn't have to happen. It's just
Not
the United
global.
States.
I'm national.
Yeah, it's just
anyone
national
doing doing food service, I would say at minimum $11 starting out,
Food
regardless of
service
its
is a
wage.
fucking hard job.
It is.
Yeah.
Minimum wage is going up to 15 Canadian dollars, albeit in,
Well, same here in
in
California.
January.
Oh no.
Like,
Oh
what's-
no. We still have like 2 years before we get to 15. They're supposed to be giving
They're
us
scaling
$1
it up,
this
though.
year. Yeah. By 2020 we're supposed to have the 15. But yeah, I would say honestly, like if you're doing like food service like that, $11 like minimum would be like the starting point, I would say. Because that doesn't fucking make sense. Like $3 or $4. Oh well, you work off tips. Yeah, not everyone fucking tips though. So that means like someone put in an hour of their time for $2. That doesn't mean anything.
In a perfect world, if everyone tipped being a delivery driver or like anything like that, that'd be a great job. That'd be nice.
Hell, I tip
you'd
my
be-
Uber driver.
No, I tip all of my delivery drivers, but like you'd make a pretty decent living off that if you got adequate amount of tips. But sadly, not everyone's a good tipper in the world. You get the people who fucking get 20-minute or $20 worth of food that are all the way across town, then they just don't tip.
Yeah, this is clearly something that everybody's passionate about. Yeah, I can see people are talking a lot about this. Holy crap, we're not even at minimum wage of €9. What is that, a pound? Does Germany
No,
use
it's
pounds?
euros.
It is euros? I thought
Mhm.
Germany used another unit.
No, I'm pretty
Which
sure.
is wild magic. How much rep does Sloth have?
No, Germany uses euros because they actually happen to be the main bank backing euros right now. Russia, on the other hand, still is using rubles.
I mean, even if people
I'm
were
fine
still
with
making the
tipping.
living wage, the fact that someone's taking like the time to give you good customer service like that, I would still,
Yeah,
I
I
would
have,
still
I
be
have, I have
inclined to tip
absolutely.
someone.
You're
I
not
don't
wrong. You're not
feel
wrong,
bad.
Tempest.
If they made the same amount of money, I'd still probably tip them. I probably
Yeah.
they're bringing me my food. I'm okay with them doing that.
Let's go ahead and get a recap so I can get this tweet out, okay?
Alrighty. So last week, the aftermath of Occipitous
Yes.
and the trial of Perseverance, correct?
Trial of Resolve.
Resolve, sorry. Trial of Resolve had come to somewhat of a standstill due to the fact that most of our party had not most of our party, a good portion of our party had been split or killed. And we ended up losing 2 people technically, Deia being one of them, destroyed by the Abyssal Basilisk, as well as Ulhime. During that time, Klaus was kind of rummaging through the area, making sure that any items that he could take with them would still be possible to pick up and grab. As he made his way over to Ulhime, however, the body started to contort and make a cocoon kind of thing around the body. And after a brief few moments of some lights and energy being drawn into this new husk, Ulhime emerged alive, but not as a dwarf, but as a goblin. Not realizing what was happening, they kind of had to put that on pause.
Right.
And just figure out a way to get out of Occipitus for the time being. They kind of shot some ideas back and forth where one of them might have to stay to make sure that the others could come back. But Klaus remembered that he actually had one of the stones that Corofon gave them,
yes.
one of 3 stones, which is now used, to ask for his assistance. He made a portal back into the material plane just behind the tip tankard. And we had realized that at that time that even with the 8 hours in Occipitus that we had, or more than 8 hours, I think it was like 25, 26 hours that we spent in Occipitus.
Right.
Typically, total rounded out about 30 minutes.
About 30 minutes in the real world.
So
with that, let's go ahead and keep passing this around. I want to see if we can get everybody in on the story here, since we introduced new characters and new mindsets. Let's pass over to Klaus. What happened when you guys returned?
Corofon was upset because he expected us to, or rather he was on the other side of it, so he didn't really understand the amount of time we actually spent in there. He thought that we had literally just been in there a half hour and not done anything yet, and we're already asking to return. So he was noticeably irritated with us, but after explaining the situation, he was a little bit more understanding, not very, still very impatient and wanting to get the job done. But as we were discussing all of this in the alleyway, we were approached by a woman carrying laundry, wearing black robes, brown robes, I forget.
Black.
Handmaidens robes.
And that woman revealed herself to be
Thelsa.
Who is Thelsa?
An enchantress.
Do we believe she's an enchantress, though? Do you guys know anything about her at all?
I believe
No.
she's a lady of the night.
She's like the Black Widow of our group. She's like, we don't know what she does, but whatever she does, she's gonna do it well.
She just eats males.
Because
literally
she
She eats their heads. It's
for someone-
fucking terrifying.
for someone who met a demon, one of the most powerful wizards in the world, or at least the body of that, and a goblin, she seemed pretty well collected. And the fact that we were telling her, hey, we're going to the 500-something abyssal lair of hell, she's like, fuck it, let's go save the world. Kind of gave us some hints that she is seasoned enough to handle herself.
So it really says something about her home life, considering that going to the seventh circle of hell is a much more pleasurable experience than going.
We're not in the seventh circle.
Have you guys even considered asking her what her background was like for her to accept that?
I believe Klaus did. He tried to make some questions about it, but it was Thelsa was a little evasive on the questions.
Yeah,
It was kind of like
why do you think you're cut out for doing what we do? Obviously, you've heard the stories of the flurry, and you know all of the peril that we kind of bring along with us wherever we go. You know.
Yeah. But she stated she had a background in this, so I mean, at this point, it's not that we're
Desperate
just
for
okay
help,
with
just
it.
really desperate for
It sounds
help.
like you guys are fucking insane. You
Yeah,
found a
pretty much.
crazy lady in an alley while you're standing next to a demon, a goblin, and an ancient, like a relic supreme being, and she was
Yeah.
like, "Take me, my home life is horrible," and you were like, "You got it, tits."
Yeah.
I mean, not exactly like
Well,
that.
we were a little
Got the
skeptical at first. We were saying like she could help us probably get some stuff in town, maybe, but then she's like, "Nah, I'm gonna."
I
go
asked
with
if
the
she was
fight."
okay in the head, and she yelled at me, so that's a pretty good reason to let her come.
Yeah. Outside of that, we kind of pan back a little bit, going to Sunn and Jacob. They ended up waking up inside a rather rounded out pit or tunnel.
Yeah.
Not realizing that it was actually the den of the
serpent.
Citadel's the Citadel's new guardian, the Iron Serpent.
Let's talk about that for a minute. I'm going to pass the buck over to our main man, Dick Dastardly over here. Captain Twirly Stash, what was this like for you?
Oh,
that's what it is. Dear Diary, so after getting stabbed in the back, Ulhime sent me back to Cauldron, but ended up putting me in a hole underground with Sunn of all people. And somehow or another, I was floating in the air on something big, cold, and slithery. Luckily, a bugbear was there to go ahead and rescue us, throwing down a rope and allowing me to yank the healer up. And once free, we found out that we were in the Citadel. Turns out this bugbear has a really, really bad attitude, but for all that, genuinely cool guy. After getting in the Citadel and letting Sunn get this knife out of my back, which was really gnarly with like a hook tip and just utterly nasty.
It was a snake fang dagger. It was neat.
Keep going.
Don't ask me how he managed to get in you, Diary, but continuing on.
Sorry.
You know, don't pass the pen. Hashtag my words.
God damn it.
But no, after getting some shut-eye, all of a sudden I wake up and there's this goblin trying to pretend that he's Ulhime. Or so I thought. And, you know, words were passed back and forth. There was a little bit of confusion.
Words.
And
What
then
kind
he
of
mentioned-
words? Tell me these magic words.
Annabeth.
What's an Annabeth, son? What did you find out about Annabeth?
That's a secret.
Wasn't really much of a secret. Things were explained.
Okay, so after mentioning the Dwarven incident at the Lucky Monkey, refer back to March 17th. Yeah, everybody was back together and we had all decided we were going to just take the night before going back to Occipitus because...
And before we forget, there was actually 2 uses of Dark Inspiration, which you still have, that have yet to be used.
See, I would have liked if you forgot about that.
Nah, but
We all would have.
I feel like a dick if I don't like.
It's
He
right
writes
there.
that shit down though.
Ronald,
my-
you were that
see all my
one
sticky
kid
notes?
who's like, hey, do we have to turn in this homework?
I actually was. I
I
was.
hate you.
Look, I
No,
don't
but-
blame him. If you do that fucking homework, you ask about it because you're like, I want my fucking grade. Let's do this.
You also want to know why? I had 4 people sitting around me that I hated, and I knew that they didn't do shit.
Mhm.
So
I
seeing
did
the
that
look
shit
on their
too.
face when they were failing and they were told that they couldn't graduate was even more satisfying.
Do I look like someone who does all of the work?
You look like the kid who was literally copying somebody else's homework as the teacher
Yeah.
came around to pick it up from you.
Yep.
What
Yeah.
Xander
Okay,
just
that was
said
the-
may have been the most American thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna gatekeep high schoolers.
Yeah.
Gatekeep.
That's right, man. You keeping them indoors so they're stuck to flipping burgers and welcoming people at Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our fault.
No, it's not, but it's funny. It's fucking funny.
And then when I got to be the dick at the end of it all, I was like, "Hey, are you guys going to prom? Oh, that's right. You don't have the grades for it." And I just walked away from him.
Hashtag gatekeeper.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of someone gatekeeping people.
They're all Ronald. What magic card are you? I'm like, I'm a defender. Why? Because I fucking
Just
block
someone just
everything.
fucking shutting someone
I'm a fucking
down.
blocker, yo. I'm a blocker. I'm like, Ronald gatekeeps anyone with a
Oh
fucking
shit, you
less
thought you
than
were gonna be
2.0
on sports
GPA.
Not now,
like,
motherfucker.
So, I think that pretty much catches us up.
Yes.
Wait,
asked.
wait.
Oh.
We are going to take a second to talk to Sunn
Mhm.
and to Thelsa. Sunn, what was it like being alone? Well, pseudo alone in a dark tunnel, surrounded by your downed ally, whose body was floating away. What was that
Bit
like for you?
frightening. Just a tad bit frightening. I looked around. Luckily, I'm not very claustrophobic. However, being inside a hole that's just slightly bigger than me, not my best kind of day. Seeing my friend slowly dragged away, also not so cool, and I couldn't catch up to him.
Aw,
Like,
I'm your friend.
For now.
I couldn't catch the half-blood.
Aw.
It's like one of those nightmares where like you're like, oh, my friend's right in front of me, and then they do that like long hallway stretch away from you, and you're like, no. It was
Might as well just turn around and leave now.
Yeah, it was basically like that. So I turned around because Sniper told me to, or Jakob told me to.
Thank you.
I had turned around, tried to run, slipped, fell on my ass on the giant iron snake, and then proceeded to grab Jacob's hand as he had somehow grabbed a hold of a rope thrown to him by Mr. Balthazar.
Balthar.
Yeah,
Alpha.
the reason that you did this was because the snake was. It wasn't like it was trying to party with you guys. It wanted to eat you.
Oh yeah, it was not happy with me because it wasn't happy with us because we kind of woke it up when it was like chilling. So it was a bit angry. And Sniper Jakob being on top of him, and me not being on top of him, he decided he could eat me.
Well, I mean, come on. I was riding that anaconda, son.
Yeah, you're also probably red, and that signals poisonous to large creatures.
Probably. No, I'm very much red.
Wait, what? Wait, what the
He's
fuck
a,
did I
he's a
just hear?
poison dart frog.
You are red, therefore you signal to poison creatures. Wait,
Yeah, he's
I have no
brightly
idea where
colored.
this conversation's going.
No, he's brightly
he's
colored.
saying-
There-
Yeah, it's
No,
an
no,
actual
no.
defense.
He's being racist by referencing the fact that because I'm
Yes.
red, the snake probably
Yes.
ignored me.
That
as-
is the
poisonous
ulterior
creature.
motive of this joke here.
Oh.
Thank you.
I
Yes.
was like, what fucking animal does that? It's like, holy
A
shit,
lot-
it's red. No.
That's pretty
a
prevalent.
lot
in
of
nature.
animals, actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
the
common.
reason why it's the Shangololo is a giant red African centipede.
Excuse
fuck
me,
did
what
you
the fuck
just
did
say?
you just say?
It's the Shangololo.
PCP
Again,
dream.
you could just
had-
go with poison dart frogs. People know about those.
That right there, what he said, I
Or
understand.
coral snakes. Fucking a million other things that are also red. Instead, you go with Shangololo,
Hold on, look at chat.
which I'm
though.
pretty sure was a Shaggy song.
Oh my! Don't look at chat.
It wasn't me.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, chat.
But what?
Google.
What are you talking about?
What the fuck are you
Did
talking
post
about?
a hyperlink?
I don't know. I
You
don't
didn't
know.
post
Okay.
shit anywhere.
Okay, so we're,
Oh, I know.
we're
I know what it was. He posted something that was too long, and it got auto banned by
Oh, did it
Twitch,
actually?
and it was probably porn.
No, it was not.
This time.
Yeah.
all right.
No,
So
it was not. It's too good.
you were going to go to Thelsa. You
Yes.
wanted to get a perspective.
Yeah. Deia's done. Deia's gonzos.
Yeah.
And it was sad, but we moved forward. You know, we kicked it forward, and we met a new character. Let's talk about that character for a minute. What's a Thelsa? Why should I know what it is?
She's a human, but also not a human. She's a half elf, so she's got semi-elf like features. She's a sorcerer, and she's pretty interesting. But she's not like Klaus. They're very different, albeit Klaus is a sorcerer.
Okay.
Static shock.
Yeah, no, I'm not an elemental sorcerer. Like I'm not all up in the lightning or fire or X element.
Noted.
She was an adventurer for a long time, and there was a death in her family. Her sister and it was her actual sister, not one of her stepsisters.
Right.
And so she came home after like a couple of years of adventuring. She left at a young age, and she's now until just the other day, she was stuck with her family for a long time because there was no leave for her. There was no way for her to get out. And
Right.
she knew she had to help her family, but
Why all of a sudden do you have to help your family now just because of this death? Like, what's preventing your mother from getting along just fine?
my mom's probably suffering a good bit of depression from what happened because it's her only child from the previous parent aside from me, and I was never home. So, that means that all of her past life up until now was for nil, and I mean, the death of a child is never something that's happy. And the rest of the family probably doesn't care because my stepfather, or Thelsa's stepfather, is not a great person and has always cared for his children much more than me. So it's like they all just kind of pushed it and brushed it off the shoulders and are trying to just say, well, it's just another person. Everyone dies. But my mother is still mourning over the loss. So I had to be at home to help her out. But after I just finished helping her out, now I need to help out around because, I mean, none of the rest of the kids have to do any work due to them being my father's kids,
Right.
or my stepfather's kids. So I'm being used as a slave, essentially.
Okay. And you decided that you were going to jump ship at the first opportunity that abound, and this is that situation?
Yep. It just so happens that it was
The
the
worst possible option.
the flurry of bros, but I mean,
Not the flurry,
You know.
but
how bad can hell be?
Pretty bad.
Hell's not the bad part. It's the part where you're going into hell with us.
There's also that.
What's stopping you
I
guys
think-
from renaming yourselves at this point?
nothing. One person. We killed a kid and we rename our entire group.
All right, you fucking slit his throat. in the neck.
Or
Fucking
even
go.
more to point, why do we necessarily need a name?
Because
Mercenary
we
company.
didn't know it to
It's-
fucking
Nobody's
curse.
asking about our name. Nobody's asking if we're a mercenary company.
True.
People
It's
need
true.
something to.
We're not part of a guild hall. We're not paying dues.
That's
No, you're
what-
not.
Yeah,
But
he's
it also
actually
does
paying
see,
dues.
so it does help with renown if people are like, oh, those guys over there that saved us, who are they? They're
So and so.
I mean,
Well,
it's better.
when they start asking, when we start rescuing people, or when people start asking, "Hey, who are you guys?" Then we can go ahead and start brainstorming. But
but I
It's
think
better that they call us the Flurry than it is for them to call us those fuckheads over there. So
Klaus and the
I mean,
other
but
five.
even right now though, we don't have, other than yourself, which people don't recognize, we technically are not the Flurry. So as far as everyone knows, they're gone. Like they're gone.
pretty much Karami. Yeah, when we start being the good guys, then we can go ahead and start passing around a name.
Why don't we just
Um,
become the boxing brother?
And it's also something that's never been talked about. So I mean, given that we don't really have much downtime to kind of just sit there and discuss what do we can call ourselves, where that's, I think, more or less the
I just really wanted to propose the idea. Like, you guys haven't discussed it at all. And
yeah.
when
I mean, but
when it comes to the thought of doing the greater good, you definitely feel like you're doing what is right.
correct. And like I said, it's not that we don't want to name ourselves, but look at everything that's transpired in the past couple of days. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
not
truth told,
it's not that we don't
we've
want
known
to.
each
It's,
other- Yeah, we've known each other all of less than 48 hours.
yeah, it's not that we don't want to come up with a name. It's given the situation
Whoa,
that we're in.
Well, hold on. That's not a good enough answer for me. Everybody has seen The Lord of the Rings. They met each other for 90 seconds before they were the Fellowship.
No,
Did they ever
no,
go ahead and call themselves the Fellowship? No, Gandalf did. So
No,
until
they,
somebody,
they called themselves a fellowship, but I mean that's also time lapse and stuff like that. That doesn't necessarily.
So what I'm hearing is we need Gandalf in our game.
You need Gandalf.
yeah, we need somebody to go ahead and be like, oh yes, you all are, you're the Fellowship of the Ring.
The fuck, Lord of the Rings did you watch?
The
Yeah,
directors.
wait,
It
hold
might
on.
have been a really bad Dutch copy.
I think MVG and Jakob are on the same line here.
And
it's probably pretty
I'll
accurate.
admit, I did not expect Bilbo to basically be a tripod.
Holy God! Okay, all right.
All right,
Just
so
gonna
other than
revoke his
that,
speaking privileges for the day.
we are getting our rest, our 8 hours, so that way everyone can rest up, and then we were heading back into Occipitus once all that was said and done, because we would not have time to shop and do other stuff. Corafon wanted us back in Occipitus ASAP.
Well, I mean, if we're asking opinions, Jacob would be like, "Fuck you, we'll go back when we're ready."
Yeah, but I mean,
But that's just me. That's Jacob. He's pragmatic that way.
yeah.
You, Mr. Thesaurus over here.
He's pregnant.
Outside of that, I mean,
Urgent.
that's where we last left off, where our characters are catching our rest, getting ready for the next day.
You guys did leave off there. This is the best time for anyone watching. If you wanted to get in some quirks, you can do just that. I already have started with one quirk right here on this sticky note. We haven't had them in a while, so let's open up those floodgates. This is bound to be fun.
Percanonant?
Yes, but Bubbernaut.
Time for another one of these. We'll be back.
Wow,
I'm
guys.
on the right track. I'm gonna go get one too. I'll be right back.
Okay, and Wit, don't you even give me that shit. You're a fucking role player. You know what pragmatic means.
Someone's got a wild hair up his ass today. It's Sniper.
That's a weird thing to make someone upset.
You've never had a wild hair?
Not up my ass.
Small secret. It's not a hair. It's a butt plug.
Oh. Ooh. No, not like this.
There's a reason I'm always wiggling in my chair, just like.
God, Fuchsia, that would make me so happy. Does Klaus have a staff?
Yes.
Yes, he does.
If not, how much for it? He does have a staff. He uses wild magic?
Here's
A
the
wild
got
magic staff
the
would be
staff.
incredibly expensive.
Boy, everyone is just like hardcore into, oh yes, let's give the guys wild magic. Because that doesn't kill characters.
Do you think that's not what they're going for?
Oh god, she's giving me video links.
I had something put on me, but I don't know what it is.
Wait, you've never seen this video before, Sniper?
I have no idea what it is, and moreover, I have no idea why it's not playing in my headset.
I don't know. All the system sound is.
What video is it?
Myself. And all of your notifications.
Oh no, I think I've actually. No, I haven't seen the video, but I have seen the imagery gallery that this is based on.
How much for insurance on my rep if he counters it? You can just buy it back, man. That's how it works. It goes down to a bidding war. But if you're going to do it, you got to do it now. I don't want to take bidding wars on forever. We do have low latency, so that cuts down like a lot of the problem. But this is your chance if you're going to make it happen. Make it so. How much to upgrade the tip tankard for RP reasons? To what exactly?
To give it a tricked out
Tilted
wheel.
cast.
Yeah, the tilted cast. Much better name.
Yeah, I mean, do keep in mind if the tip tanker gets any more high class, Jacob's not going to be allowed in.
Wait, you're allowed in there now?
Barely.
Okay. I'm going to close this very soon on these quirks. Going to close it very soon. You guys have... Oh, a minute. You have a minute. Sloth has put on wild magic on Jacob.
How much rep do I even have?
Fine, fuck it. I just won't do combat today.
That fucking face! Dude, you could literally... Can you imagine heaving out like celestial eagles from your blade as you swing? That would be intense.
Can you imagine sending out a bear that falls 50 feet from the sky?
We've already gone through this. I've already had a character that utterly died thanks to wild magic.
This is true.
Everyone has a chance. You know what? There's no point. I'm not even going to try to reason with you.
I mean, we can try arguing it. Yeah, there is the potential for really cool shit to happen. Or I could turn back into a glowing goat.
Or palm trees out of nowhere in a dungeon.
No, that was more you.
That was me. I can confirm this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I ended up blinding myself, turning myself into a source of light, polymorphing myself. The only cool thing that happened out of that multiple series of rolls was that I completely healed one character. So out of the 2 or 3 dozen rolls, one cool thing happened.
That's about Klaus summoned the help from someone twice over the course of his life.
He did, in fact.
He summoned. I don't remember how it was.
I'm also not going to...
sure, sloth. I'll take it, sure.
Isn't like a Magus uses magic that much. He uses it fairly frequently.
I'm also not going to discount the fact that your experience with wild magic has been soured by the fact that you always roll terribly, regardless of whether it's low or high. It's just whichever one is bad, that's the one you roll.
It doesn't matter if it's wild magic or not. You just have a history of rolling like balls.
Well, they just never land on his side when you roll balls.
Damn, ain't that the truth? All right, well, yeah, it's in. That's it. No more. We got him. Let's see what we got. Where is the table? Silly 21 red.
Dad's calling.
Red tonight. Oh, this is actually fitting. Red tonight. Self-medicating. You secretly quaff potions of healing, herbal remedies, and alchemical brews, and you blame your addiction on the current enemy, other party members, or the nearest innocent / some PTSD-inducing event.
My dad needs help real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
How much is it?
That was silly. So 3K? 3,000? And he bought it off. I feel like your character does that already, though.
Yeah, but I don't want to have an addiction to it. My potions are already scarce enough as they are.
Okay, all right. You got us, Rockets. There's 5. You can have your sunset.
Wait, where am I setting things down?
Mechanical 10. Jacob, you'll walk with a limp, but it changes from foot to foot based on your mood. It's not going to do anything to you. You just shift. You've got to...
Well, considering that Jacob's constantly in a sour mood, it's just going to be on one side at all times.
So you got this John Wayne going thing. All right, sounds good.
It's a rowboat with one oar, just circles.
No, it's like you went ahead and just like popped one nut.
Okay. Let's go ahead and set the mood music, and we'll make this so.
Ooh, do we get Barry Manilow this time?
Nope, not
Not
this
Marvin
time.
Gaye.
Aww. Why you gotta tease me so?
Sorry, man. It's the nature of the beast. Let's see if I want to use that. Okay. You had each been given... Oh, let's take a moment to wait for Ronald. Gotta give Ronald an opportunity to come back. Alright guys, is there anything else that you wanted to bring to my attention before we kick off the game tonight?
Not really. And actually, I need to go ahead and clear out some of my uses.
You quirked any? Let me see. Did I get a message?
We didn't level up from that fight. You know what fight? We should have really leveled up from the fight after with Birdman.
Actually, come to think of it, I'm back at level 10.
Oh yeah, because you came. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, because
This is Twitter, guys.
some...
Retweet it up.
There you go. Coming back to life and being healthy again.
Yeah, it's amazing what a nap and a sandwich will do for me. You know, and not being stabbed in the back or crushed by a serpent man or
I'll be
run
so lucky.
through by a lance or anything like that.
Okay.
From over in the closet.
Are you good?
In the closet. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
What did I do, Christy?
I don't know, but it's Halalia.
You know
Alright.
exactly what you did.
I don't.
We know what you did.
Okay. Just got a woosah. After your meeting, your inevitable meeting with the entire crew, this newfound group of belongings, these peoples, however you want to functionally add to this lot, you go unnamed. Your group is mystifiably not the flurry, but still some relic that's not quite unfounded itself. Klaus remains of the original Bastion. How long will he stand? You'll all go off to your rooms, to whatever was decided up to this point. You can commit to your nightly prayer. You can ready your weapons, ready your potions. You can do whatever it is that you so desire. Whatever you need to do. This is going to look very different to a lot of you. So, if there was any bit of roleplay or anything that you wanted to handle, now is that time.
Yeah.
Reasonably, I would think that Jakob and Ulhime would likely share a room.
In the bed.
Maybe, I don't know. That's up to them.
We
He's
try
small.
not to go ahead and get in on that, but
Sometimes the nights are cold, man.
So, that being said, as we're starting to kind of break off into our groups and stuff, I'll walk over to Klaus, and I'll pull on this robe. Hey, I was wondering, can I get that sword back?
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead and hand the bastard sword over to him. Are you certain you're going to be able to wield that effectively?
Hold on. And then you'll see him like pick it up and then like just swing it down. Still, I guess keeping the proficiencies, but still seeing that it's a little oversized. He'll still wield it effectively. I should be fine. Can you tell me if there's anything special about it? I know we've been in Occipitus for a bit, but it might have some qualities that might be of that of Celestia.
I can certainly take a look. It can't harm anything. What do you want for that, bub? Praise?
Yeah, you're just trying to, value it, or what exactly do you want to do with it?
Actually, ideally I would like to determine if there's any magical properties before valuing it.
Give me an appraise. Appraise can help you determine that, but it will not be able to tell you what those are.
Right.
And what are you appraising?
The bastard sword that he got out of Celestia.
Okay.
$24.
Yes, it is. It's of quite a high quality. This is not really the likes of what you would see on the Mortal Coil, right? Like this this realm isn't quite capable of pulling these sorts of this sort of quality off. It could fetch the right price from the right person, but more importantly, like this would fall questionable to some. Like it would almost seem too real. Does that make sense? Like someone would see this and be like, I don't know what to give you for this because this doesn't look like anything ever. Like it's too real. It's something that's odd about it. The qualities are just off. But you can tell that it is magical. There's something about it.
Do you want a read magic on that? Are there runes inscribed in it, or is it more of a inherent enchantment?
It's an inherent enchantment.
Okay.
Any way that Jacob could help with arcane knowledge or spellcraft checks?
I don't know. Is Jacob comfortable enough and awake enough to do that?
Well, considering that he was just kicked out of bed, he's pretty much awake.
Then I guess.
You know, I mean, it's just a question on if I could go ahead and help. But, no, Jacob, seeing Klaus and a very, very green Ulhime discussing a sword, he's going to kind of lean over Klaus's shoulder and take a closer look. So which roll do you want?
What do you want to use?
I'd rather go ahead and use arcane knowledge. Personally speaking, I mean. So,
Arcane knowledge probably wouldn't help you a ton here. It might give you a bit more information regarding the type of magic that could be used in the construction of its make, but not particularly identifying what special abilities would lie upon this enchantment-wise.
Okay, so spellcraft it is. More of an identification as to what kind of magicalness is going on.
Sure.
Delicious. And it's not a crap roll. Oh my god.
You did well. And you're casting Detect Magic? Or are you just using your spellcraft?
Just using spellcraft.
Sure. As you use spellcraft, you can determine that it does lie upon some divine features. After focusing on it, you can see that this divine feature sort of emblazons the blade in a manner that gives it some kind of holy light, like it's radiating on the holy spectrum. Particularly for its properties, it is a weapon that has been granted the holy ability.
Well, Ulhime, rather predictably for a weapon from Celestia, it's definitely more of a religious artifact than anything else. I mean, it's got the word of God within its folds. Regardless, I don't want you to hit me with it.
Of course, and once again, friend, I am sorry about what happened back when I was possessed.
Oh, the succubus thing? No. Nothing to worry about that. I mean, everybody gets seduced once in a while. It happens to the best of us. I mean, trust me, you handled it a lot better than I did the last time it happened. And, whew, boy, that was a story. Which we're not going to get into. Yeah.
Bubs, that's a +1 holy sword?
+2.
+2.
Anything else that you guys would like to maintain?
I'll turn to both of them and say, listen, while I do enjoy your company, I really should be getting to bed. I'm extremely tired. It's been a long day, as I'm sure you both understand.
No, I can get that. And, yeah, we can leave you to it. As he slowly backs towards the door. Oh, come on. Let's leave Grandpa to have his good night's sleep. After all, there's no telling he's going to wake up in the morning.
You shouldn't be rude to our friends. They've gone through a lot, Jacob.
True. Okay. Klaus,
Well,
I do apologize. It's been a stressful day.
Ulhime gives him a salute with his gauntlet facing outward towards Klaus. Hey, Helmby, ever watched Wonder Sleep, friend? And he gives him a bow, and then he makes his way over to the room Jacob is going to be using as well.
Yeah, and as he's kind of closing the door behind them, he's going to look down at Ulhime. Okay, so seriously, what is up with the goblin get-up?
It's not a get-up, friend. It's
Well,
my new body.
I get that, but why? I mean, if you have the choice of a new body, why a goblin?
Wasn't a choice, but I'm still me, regardless of what I look like. I still have a sense of
what do you mean
morality
it wasn't a
and
choice?
justice. It just kind of happened.
Like, wait, did you die?
Yes, Jacob. I've said this several times. Yes.
No, I mean, but you came back
Mm-hmm.
in that body.
Correct.
Yeah, Jacob's going to want to go ahead and try and use a detect magic on his gauntlet. Because he's going to want to, he's going to want to go ahead and take a closer look at it like he did the sword earlier, but this time he wants the bonus. And on this one, he is going to go ahead and do a spellcraft. So yeah,
Sure.
want that D100?
1,000. D1000.
D1000. $45.
That's pretty low. Let's see what happens.
It's not gonna be anything good.
Targeting the gauntlet.
It's fireball.
In the Citadel, no less.
Okay.
Yeah, we've never lit that on fire before.
Not even once.
This spell is called Silted Transparency. Your skin becomes slightly translucent and transparent. You can see outlines of your organs internally. This grants you a fear factor. There is now a latent fear effect on your person.
So does that? It's on him, right?
It's on him, yes.
So you just got rid of your red skin problem. There you go.
No,
Now people
skin's
might
still
think you-
red. Skin's still red.
Just
It's
translucent
just-
now.
It's just kind of not there.
It's translucent, not transparent.
This will last. Roll me a
14.
d8.
D8. Wonderful.
Yeah. This lasts 7 hours.
Well, that's enough for us to sleep. So
Yeah, if you sleep 8 hours, it's gone.
Are
And
you
now can I
disappearing?
actually... and I want to go ahead and still roll my spellcraft on the gauntlet.
Ulhime, I'm not feeling so good.
Sure, go for it.
with a snap of my fingers?
Not great,
Not
great.
Not excellent. That is not
but
great.
it's still a 19.
Yeah. Man, there are just too many things on this that make you believe that you can even identify a single magical property regarding it. There are enchantments that are weaved into enchantments. This is something that
If I want to know more about it, I'm going to have to sit down and actually take 10 and study it.
You're gonna have to take lots. Like, take a trip back into the past and ask the deity himself. Considering this was a customary piece specifically for him, you're not sure if even reading it would be healthy for you.
But, kind of itching over his jaw. Well, it's just a suspicion at this point, Ulhime, but something tells me that... Fuck. the Gauntlet is to blame, obviously. I mean, let's be honest. But I think that Helm doesn't want you gone.
Well, then there's nothing wrong with that. But you really shouldn't use the words blame. I don't blame him for doing anything. I was blessed with a new body. Nothing more.
To each their own. I mean, you could have at least gotten taller or something. And at this point, Jacob's going to lead the way over towards their room, and when he sees his hand on the doorknob and more or less sees that he has no skin, the fuck!
And that's where we segue to the next person. Thelsa.
Yep.
You overhear a man screaming. Drops a major inappropriate word in the middle of a place surrounded by children and protectors of the environment. And you close the door to your room abruptly so. This isn't quite exactly your room. It's not the room at your mother's, your stepfather's. You don't have to share it with the youngest. It's not just a series of blankets that have been laid down in the corner. You actually have a bed, which is probably going to provide for you the best sleep that you've had in a while, honestly.
Likely, yeah.
There is an end table. Atop that end table, you'll see that there are there's place for you to place any kind of instruments or devices that you might have. There's also what looks to be a small drinking cup. There's a basin for you to wash yourself from. It's, for the time, it's fitted with all the bells and whistles.
I would be more taken aback by everything. Just that, like, I just strolled in with a party that's either full of, like, shitty people and it's all hectic, and then I get to sleep in, like, a 5-star hotel, essentially. So I'm just kind of, I'm surprised that I figured it was going to be worse when I joined them than it currently is, and I know it's not going to get better, but I mean, I'm happy right now, so to speak. Well, for now. So
do you have anything that you do before you round off to a night of rest? Do you?
Nope. It would mostly
pray,
just be.
You look at your spells. What does this look like?
Probably looking over my spells and just kind of channeling to my bloodline, making sure, you know, I'm not just falling out for no reason.
Now, was there anything specific
get ready.
when you sort of start weaving your spells, making sure that you hone your craft? Is there anything about this? Like, does it do anything to the way that you look? Is there something like, do you hear like a slight thrumming behind you when you cast spells? Does your skin start to emit like this almost peacock-like greenish glow from it? What happens?
The most notable thing that I notice is that when I cast spells, you can almost see that my veins, where I'm drawing the power from my blood, is it kind of glows a bit. You can kind of see it. It's almost a little bit odd and spooky, but I'm drawing from like my bloodline.
Is it like a white light, or is it like an iridescent green?
Okay, like a white light.
All right. So your Fey bloodline seems to illuminate around you, which is really interesting to say the speak. In certain scenarios, it could be a lifesaver or a life ender even, which is cool. That's interesting to think about. Mr. Surabar Spellmason, the walking legend thought to be dead. Man, it's been a wild trip so far. You're being led by the seat of your pants, or robes in this case, by a demon. By a half-demon, or a half-fiend even, who declares that he wants the best for the realm, and he thinks that would be controlling Occipitus. And you guys were like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
I mean, it sounds more like our only option than a good idea, which is, excuse me, kind of the story of our lives at this point. That being said, we don't know exactly how powerful Corfun is or how powerful taking control of Occipitus will make him, but so far we haven't seen any reason to be concerned.
Do you remember what you guys were getting out of helping him? Like, what was the advantage for helping him that you guys couldn't just turn down?
What was it, like 4 gold, 5 gold?
He more or less made the argument, as far as I remember anyway, correct me if I'm wrong here, he more or less made the argument that if we didn't help him, we would be at the mercy of much eviler beings than he himself. That they would hold a lot more power and things would get immensely harder on us and everyone that lived in Cauldron.
Okay.
We're trying to do the right thing.
By doing what could very well be a wrong thing.
Yeah.
But that's
we
fair.
didn't know it was
You
the
think
wrong
it's-
thing going down there.
You think it's like a lesser of two evils sort of situation.
The ends justify the means.
So, I ask again, I beg to know, Klaus has hopped from body to body, and you're finding this particular body to be quite wild. You've never quite felt something that is as rife with magic, or is as in tune. Are you more protective of this body? And if so, why? Is it because you're afraid that you might lose?
I actually kind of feel like the inverse is true. I feel like this body is more protective of me than any other body has been thus far. Because while it is flowing with this sort of innate magical energy, it mainly seems to kick in when I really need it the most. And it's not just like I mean, there were moments where I went to open a door and it blew off the hinges, but it's not so much, I'm pulling a prank on someone and it went horribly wrong and now they're dead. It's more of this is a very, very dire situation and I need this power to come through for me right now, and then it does.
Right. With that answer, what does your night look like, knowing that you get to finally rest alone in an actual bed? Knowing that tomorrow you get to go back to hell and wrestle with those demons. No metaphors here. It's an actuality.
Yeah. Likely my night will be spent kind of decompressing to begin with, but then also I kind of want to plumb the depths of my knowledge on Surbar himself, sort of see if I can recall anything in particular regarding his sort of natural-born talent for the things that he did. Just trying to gather more information on why I'm in the situation I'm in right now.
Sure. What do you do to do that exactly, to try to...
Probably a
pull back
form
that
of
info?
meditation.
Okay.
Sort of almost lucid dreaming, but in a more awake state.
All right, can you describe what this looks like for me and for the people that are watching at home? What does meditation look like to a world-renowned sorcerer / individual that happens to also be in a world-renowned wizard?
From the outside looking in, it mainly looks the same as anyone else's meditation might be. Sort of propping oneself up in a comfortable position that can be held for a long period of time with minimal motion and minimal effort, so that all the focus can be sort of funneled into the one aspect that you're trying to drill into, in this
Right.
case magical ability. So from the outside it mainly looks like I'm resting on my bed with some pillows propped up behind me trying to support my lumbar, but as Surbar himself, it's sort of a deep delve into the physical form that I inhabit, rather than trying to introspect and see more into Klaus. It's more, what is the shell that's holding me? What can it do? Why does it do the things that it does?
That's fair. So, I want to take a moment to pass. I'm going to come back to you, but I want to take a moment here to pass this buck back over to Sunn. Oh, Sunn. You've seen some shit. You went from a rogue traveler bouncing in the land, helping those in need. Like, you're used to seeing sickness and plague and famine. You're not used to seeing devils and demons and fiends and the like.
Yeah, and they've killed me twice.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, exactly. So what does your night look like?
Sunn's pretty despondent to all of the insaneness that's been going on, because he's actually in a safe place for once. For once in like the past week and a half of his life.
That's fair.
Longer because of the demon realm.
Yeah.
He's kind of taking it in, kind of staring out the window occasionally, but he'd be setting up his potions throughout the night, cleaning his vials and such, making sure everything's set. And by the end of the night, he'd probably take the polypurpose panacea to basically work his Motrin.
Okay.
And he's basically going to lie down with his neck supported, just lying down on the bed. And just kind of healing himself with his spontaneous healing before he goes to sleep.
So basically, this looks like the equivalent of you like popping a bunch of ibuprofen and unwinding.
Basically, the plan is to show up tomorrow looking like I haven't been through hell and back, literally.
I gotcha.
Just working on the body and making everything work again.
What do you think about the situation involving Thelsa? What do you think of Thelsa? I mean, she has no equipment. She doesn't look battle hardened. She doesn't have a spell book. She's got no familiar. She has no visible traits about her outside of some semi-pointed ears, which would lead you to believe that she's any more than a handmaiden. Hell, she's wearing handmaiden's clothes.
Yeah, Sunn's unsure if she's broken out of a mental asylum or something, if she needs to be seeking bedlam, because of the fact that she willingly joined the flurry and is willing to go down to the depths of hell with no armor or anything. But Sunn can't really stop her at this point. He asked her if she was okay, and she seemed quite dedicated to the cause.
Okay.
The best he could hope to do would be to help her not evaporate into nothingness. Or at least, guide the passing to be smooth. Which, at this rate, is probably what it's going to be.
Okay. All right, that sounds fine. Sounds good. I'm trying to find ways to weave Thelsa into each individual story in a way that can actually make her seem more useful than ineffective. But I feel like at this point it's better to almost see her in action. So it's good to sort of see what your characters think up to this point. And I'm going to bring it back at this point to Klaus. Klaus. I am going to change this back to something a bit more serious. Alright, friendo. The sounds of the forest die down around you. You enter your meditative state. You've positioned the pillows just behind your back, you've stretched out, and you've started to focus on your breathing. You started to count in your head with every rescinding gasp into an exhale. And as you begin to enter that long-awaited meditative state, to begin recalling events from a previous life, you get the sense that you're not quite alone. The room around you seems to sort of swell from this enamoring power that is drawn within you. And you realize that you realize that you are being watched. Your eyes are closed. You feel this presence near you. You feel this figure stepping around you. But you can't quite place whom or what it actually is. As your focus begins to hone further, as your meditative state starts to crest, you begin to hear the sounds of footfall, the rapping against marble. And you blink several times over, each time granting you a new hue of vision. And what you're looking at is almost sort of a third person's perspective. Kind of just like behind you and to the left. As you're watching, you see Nidrama descending before this figure, which you could only assume is Surubar Spellmason. And there is no reaction over her face other than sorrow. She's descended to a point where she's floating no more than 2 to 3 feet above the ground. And she passes this staff. The staff slides into the hands of Surubar Spellmason, and as you can see this beginning, eyes begin to appear multiple times over the staff itself. And it speaks. You can't immediately recognize what it is unless you can speak Celestial. Do you speak Celestial?
Nope.
It is in a tone that yields nothing but peril. It doesn't sound all that is holy and angelic. It sounds of someone that reveres revenge. Someone that desires malice. It borderline sounds frightening. But then you can see the head of Surubar kind of catch, like he's hearing a noise. And he turns back, looking directly at you. And as he pulls his hand outright, the staff glides over to his palm. And his hand moves over your face, like closing your eyes. And you can feel the static shock, bringing you almost back to the point of awakening. As this happens, you'll find that you are no longer placed upon your bed. Your room is mostly disheveled. What blankets were actually on top of your bed or your cot has been thrown across. Your wash basin has been tipped over and tilted. The small end table is also tilted over on the ground. You're not on your bed anymore. You sit almost Indian style on the floor. Something lurks in the shadow of your room. It's somewhere between the wall and the door that has allowed you in. It's like you can hear it scribing something. You can hear the etchings. What do you do?
I'm going to call out to whatever this entity is. Show yourself.
Do you attempt to rise, or do you just stay seated?
I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
Okay. From the corner of the room, you hear the scribing, this scritching of what sounds like wood on paper or wood on wood. It stops. Then you hear the sound of something what sounds like a cane or a staff rapidly just plinking down upon wood, like just hard tapping. If I had anything, it's like that. And then from the shadows, Alicast falls and hits the floor. It lies motionless on the ground.
I'll move over to it and pick it up.
When you pick Alicast from the floor, you see eyes rapidly spiral open, facing you. They blink several times, some vertically, some horizontally. It's like they're sizing you up and down. You've seen these before, even if only briefly.
I'm going to sort of hold it out in front of me, and speak to it directly and say, "Show me."
When you say "show me," they blink in unison before there's a pause. And then you get this, what is the word? This empathetic feeling, this empathy that is delivered from the staff to your person. And the feeling that you sort of just like feel like roil over your body is this smugness. You know what it's like to see someone that's very smug, and you're getting that same feeling from the staff. And that says a lot, considering the only thing that is different about it is that it's looking at you. Now, you don't know how honest Nidrama was. You don't know if she was telling the truth, but all you can really do is take her word for it. What do you do? Feeling this smugness, what do you do?
I'm gonna step over to where it was standing on its own, I suppose, before it fell over, and see if there's any markings remaining from where it sounded like it was scribing something.
Okay. You move over into the darkness of the room, and your eyes, they fail to adjust. You can tell that it's still just dark in here. The moonlight does not cascade in a way that grants you vision. You need light.
Using Alicast, I'm going to cast light.
Okay. All right, I have some things to tell you. You can see that there is actually something scrivened into the wall in Celestial. It is the same language that you had heard, but it seems to be written in a way that it does communicate to you. And the way that, like, your body, like, when you read it, Klaus doesn't know this, but it almost feels as if the body is following it, right? Like, it's a certain train of thought that it's like seeing cursive writing over and over again. You can expect the loops and the swoops. But in this case, your bodies and your eyes follow it, and while you don't really know what it means, it feels almost very preternatural to you. Like your muscle memory has ingrained this into your mind. You don't know why. You have no idea why.
I'm going to see if I can scrounge some sort of paper and writing utensil from somewhere around and try to etch over, using the paper and whatever utensil I find, etch over the writing to use, or to hold on to, and see if anyone can translate for me at a later date.
Take a rubbing, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. You can take that down. You manage to rub down these scrivenings on the wall. But as quick as you begin to like rub them away, like onto any kind of vellum or pattern paper, something that you can use, the wall seems to contort back and shift, almost like it's self-mending. You can only assume that this is one of the natural properties of this location. You managed to get it. You managed to get these things down on paper, but you have no viable proof. And if you had to show someone,
Right. Does the staff still give me a sense of like smugness, of self-confidence, and withholding information, I suppose?
definitely. Definitely. You can't tell if that's directed for you or if it's directed at you, but you get the sense of smugness. Now that you have this information, what do you do?
I'm going to once again hold the staff out in front of me and sort of in a rhetorical sense, not necessarily expecting an answer, ask, why must you be so cryptic? Why can't you just speak to me?
As you ask this question, the many eyes on the staff begin to blink out in pattern. It's sort of like you're driving down the highway and you can see the lights going out because it's obviously it's dawn and the lights tend to shut off at lights, but you can see them blinking out in a pattern.
I can't say I understand you, but I will. Sometime.
Okay. What does the rest of your night look like?
Hard sleeping. Fucking out. Snoring.
Got it. You got it. Then you guys can gain your sleep. You'll gain back your constitution score to your hit points. No modifier. And that's fine. Morning comes in the Leven Citadel. You're greeted by the sounds of the morning. The birds and the trees and everything that is delightful and holy before you hop back into this hellish zone.
Well, to be fair, anything is a delight comparatively. But yeah, given that morning comes by, they'll find that Jacob's meeting the dawn out on one of the balconies, studying his spell book and just getting ready for the day.
Okay. Ulhime, you will awaken to seeing Jakob outside on his balcony, basking in the sun, almost reptilian-like, but he seems to be going through his spell book, relearning, preparing. Is there anything you'd like to do, Ulhime?
Yeah, as I get up, refashion the robe so I can wear it properly again.
Okay.
I guess if it's possible to wear find children's clothes, because I mean I'd be relatively the same size. Some basic pants and stuff like that, and a shirt.
Sure. Do you go and speak with them about this, or are you just trying to?
Yeah, Yeah, no, I'm not gonna
rummage
steal
around.
anything.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna steal anything. I'll go find Balthar. As I get up. Jacob. Friend,
Eh?
you okay? Hey.
Yeah. Well, aside from looking through my eyelids most of the night, no, I'm doing pretty good. He's gonna clap his book shut and lean back, sighing to himself.
Hey, I need to go get a change of clothes. I'm gonna ask our bugbear friend to see if he can help me out.
Sure. Though, Ulhime, can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah, go ahead. You know you can ask me anything.
Considering everything that we've seen so far,
Mm-hmm.
do you think we're doing the right thing? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm following you. That's the only reason I've gone along as we have. But now that we've had the night and I've had some time to think, why are we trusting this guy? I mean to say, he shows up after these demons come along, banishes them, and then sends us on down to Occipitus, where certainly we've run into our fair share of bad things and demonic entities to go ahead and take care of, but I don't know, maybe it's the angel thing we killed, but I'm feeling less and less certain that we're doing the right thing, you know?
In all honesty, friend, doing the right thing's a matter of perspective. What can be right and just for us could be seen as wickedness and evil in the eyes of another.
I'm pretty certain that killing an angel is pretty wicked.
It was. It is.
And
But at the
I'm
same
just
time,
saying, if that's more of what we have to do, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with this.
and I understand that, friend. Believe me, I really do. But to sit here and not do anything, we don't know what that could yield.
Well, I'm not even sure that. Well, that's more supposition at this point, but no,
Let me ask you this then. Would
Sure.
you rather do nothing? Would you just rather not
I'd
take
ra-
a stand?
I'd rather be sure what we're doing. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've already established I'll go to hell and back for you, apparently. But this all feels too convenient, too contrived. A week ago, we were just doing patrols around Cauldron, and then demons show up in a bar, and this fellow shows up not 10 minutes afterwards. I'm just saying that some things feel too convenient and contrived here, is all.
And I believe every word you say, Jacob. But I am not doing anything blindly either. As of right now, we've pushed back evil we could. And even in hindsight, I mean, thinking about it, we might be working unknowingly with evil now. But until that time comes, until we get those answers, we gotta just keep moving forward. We gotta keep doing the trials, and before long, if before the end of the trials we realize that the man that we're helping isn't necessarily good, then we stop him.
Fair enough. I think, just keep in mind that we should probably ask a few more questions. But, no. Go ahead and get the others. I'll meet you downstairs in a moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some clothes first. And
Yeah, that would be handy. I mean, I'm kind of noticing
yeah,
the belt's not tight enough
and
all that.
yeah, cultist robes look rather terrifying, especially with
It's definitely not your color.
No.
You
not at
you
all.
were much more an orange kind of tableau right now.
You see Ulhime roll his eyes. Sun-kissed was the word, I believe. Sun-kissed. More of a caramel than anything. It's very soft colors. Very soft color. Either
Dude,
way,
you're
I
green.
digress, friend. It's not bad. Just another form that helm has taken. Possibly.
Okay,
And
you do you.
gives him a
Oh.
thumbs up, and before he closes the door, he turns around. Remember,
God, when is this stuff gonna wear off?
keep your hood down. Show your face. He kind of just gives him a smile and closes the door and goes to look for Balthar.
God, I'm showing all of myself.
It would have worn off by now, though, wouldn't it?
If you had 7 hours of sleep, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
okay, though. You're good.
Just let me play it, guys. Come on.
Just saying, letting you embellish as you so
My
desire.
bad.
Okay,
Um,
you exit your room, and you'll see that this place is already quite lively. They don't waste time. They take advantage of their day. Children are running around. You will see that there are multiple people that are avidly practicing some of their techniques. I don't have to explain to you how this place works, but you kind of get the picture about what's happening. You will see that there is what looks to be a boy, probably 12 or 13 years old, who has like a leather tassel attached to his finger, and he has a falconer's glove on the other hand. As he's walking, you can see that he's got his tasseled finger out. This is the one without the glove. And every few moments you'll hear Yulgar. He'll put out a squaw or like a heck, and as this happens, you'll see the boy kind of avert his angle. They have got some odd symbiosis thing going on there. It's like he's teaching him how to utilize his surroundings to his benefit.
like he's teaching him like echolocation or something like that.
Borderline, yeah. It's a really strange scenario, but you can tell when it looks as if the boy is about to walk into you, there's a hiss that comes from Yulgar, and he'll stop, and he goes to say something, but you just get this muttered, like, "Doddy," and the boy turns, placing his hands out, and he'll feel the balcony, and just sort of rest his arms out there.
Okay, I slay living on up. I'm just kidding. That's not nice.
Oh my god. That would be horrifying.
So as I see the blind child, I'll leave him to his devices. I mean, he doesn't look like he's bothering anyone. He seems to know his way around already. Is there any, like, I'll go to, I guess, one of the other wardens or children nearby. Hi, I'm looking for the large bugbear man, Balthar. Have you seen him?
A few of them kind of laugh at you. They haven't seen a goblin. And much like children do, some of them like kind of recoil away like, nah. But one of them's like, he's up there! And he points up a few sets of stairs. It's his office, or at least the area that you saw him working previously.
All right. Thank you. And then he'll give him a salute, and then he'll like do his like little pitter patter when he's running up. So.
Okay.
As he gets to the office, he'll knock on like the banister, the side wall, and just.
When you manage to knock, you see like the hand of the bugbear kind of shoot out and wave. He appears to be working on something that's just outside of your field of vision.
Can I try to take a closer look?
Yeah, you can. When you step into his office, he is currently stringing some material. It looks a little odd to you, and it smells kind of pungent, a little disgusting, but it appears that he's stringing some kind of cord or cable. And as he's doing so, like, this viscous brownish red fluid is kind of tapering off of it. But as he stretches it down, it seems to have quite the recoil. And as he brings it over an edge and then lops a slat of wood against it, he'll take his finger and test the tensile strength of it. And when it releases, you'll hear like a doing.
What are you doing there, friend?
Catgut.
Ah.
You've never strung a bow.
No. Unfortunately, being a dwarf as I am, I've only used heavy armors, swords, maces, hammers, good old shield.
He looks back to you, and he explains, says, twine, too thin. Hemp, no recoil. Need something strong, something with kickback. I found catgut works the best. Mountain cat. Fresh hunt this morning.
Mountain cat, huh? Well, back in Protector's Hall and, well, the military quarter, there's this really big, deep cavern that we have. Give me a second to actually grab the name of what I wrote down. Well, we actually call it the Deep. It's a mining shaft. All kinds of beast, but nothing like any mountain cats. Mostly, well, then he kind of points to himself. Things like me, or the dark ones, the Duergar.
Well, if it has gut, you can probably use it.
Duly
But
noted, friend.
I figured it was easier to explain a cat gut than a goblin gut or a human gut.
Yeah, that would be a little different. But I mean, you're one of them wardens, right?
Oh, I thought you were going to say goblin. As I'm one of those too.
Well, I can see that you are of goblin kind.
How does that even work? Like, I don't look like you, and you don't look like me. It doesn't make any sense.
You see Ulhime shrug. I'm not sure. And then there's apparently a secondary cousin between the two. That one kind of looks a little like both of us.
A bear? What cousin? Oh, you're talking about hobgoblins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense either.
No, not really. But we are what we are.
Well, it's rarely that you'll ever get to meet other goblinoids, and then you get to ask them. I figured I would take the opportunity.
Agreed. Though I never been one to judge a person based off appearance alone.
Fair and well met. What can I help you with?
Well, as you can see, and he kind of like brings over like the long like cultist robes. These are a little cryptic in my field of work, for one, and a little hard to move around in. I was wondering if you had anything more in my size to outfit me with. I know you said you didn't have any armors or anything, and that's perfectly fine, but maybe some children's clothes to spare that I could use.
I bet we can get you a trainee's outfit.
A training outfit? I mean, whatever helps, whatever you're willing to part with, friend.
Yes, this is fine. Where can I find you? I'll go fetch you something immediately. I need the catgut to dry out.
Well, I'll be walking around the area. I'm not really going to be anywhere. We're going to be probably leaving in a little bit, though, so I guess at the front would probably be a good place.
Well,
unless I can just follow you.
I don't like to be followed. Not by anyone. If you could... I'll just lay it over a balcony near your room.
Duly noted. Thank you, friend.
You'll have it soon enough.
That means a lot to me. Thank you.
So, Surabar. Spell mason.
Hit me.
Man, you couldn't be bothered to clean up your room last night. So what does your morning look like?
Achy.
Achy, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, real sore. Laying completely still for between 7 and 8 hours. Not too good on the 700-year-old body.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But after getting over a little bit of the morning aches, I'll begin tidying up everything. After all, we are a guest in Balthar's city?
Home.
Tri-state area. Tri-state area works, yeah, that's good. So I'm going to try to leave it as neat as I found it.
All right. You struggled quite a great deal putting the end table back up, but we'll say that you're able to adjust. After you finally make it outside, you'll see that there are plenty of children that are running around. Some of the adults seem to be practicing the abilities that are granted. Based off of this location, is your best guess. It's odd because it almost feels sort of like it's naturally like almost a druid's grove, but there aren't any druids here. Though it could easily be home to that, for certain. That being said, you can see that it looks like Jakob is not to be found. Ulhime seems to be greeting some children. The children are laughing at him. You don't hear any word on Thelsa or Sunn.
For the moment, I'll
Well,
just
for his
assume
part, Jakob would be downstairs in the foyer, just kind of biding his time. You said he'd meet everyone downstairs.
Okay. It's likely then, as you begin to push yourself forward, you'll see that Jakob has gathered his belongings and has begun making his way down the steps in the greeting area. Will you be doing anything else?
I'll probably go, not necessarily take a look in, but I'll go to Thelsa and Sunn's rooms just to make sure that they're not already off on some
Fantastic journey.
wacky adventure.
Sure.
We're actually doing the Goonies thing. We actually put one of the villagers out into the lake while he was sleeping on his bed.
It's actually Sunn that I put out into the lake while he was sleeping on his bed.
Shit.
Also, there's no lake here.
I get those things mixed up.
When you arrive at Thelsa's room, you'll see that the moment you begin to knock, Thelsa will open the door. She seems to be in preparation to greet the day. Early to rise is sort of her thing, but she didn't take nearly as long to pull herself or her room together than you. You see that she seems to be adjusting the cuff on her handmaiden's outfit, and you are like prepared to knock. It's that awkward like, So, Thelsa, you see that Surabar Spellmason is currently giving you the black power stance.
I'm just gonna stop and smile for a second and say, good morning.
Yes, my apologies. I just wanted to make sure we were all preparing to leave.
I go when you go.
Noted. No disturbances through the night?
None at all. I slept better here than I usually do. I'm used to sleeping on a floor with blankets, and that's about it.
Well, I'm glad you found the accommodations to your liking. Whenever you're ready, we're beginning to gather downstairs.
Okay, I'll meet you down there.
Sunn,
I actually know what I want to be doing.
you will you'll wake up to the sounds of children echoing off of the walls in this place, and you can hear them running around the entire Leven Citadel. You can overhear some of your allies down the steps, and you get the sense that it's this almost tickling sensation moving up your arm, and then there's a brief pause. Steepling up your shoulder, sort of like pins and needles. Another pause, and then you feel it going up your face. You remember the last time you were here, you spent probably 12 rounds fist fighting a spider.
While it was crawling up my arm, would I have gotten a glance of what it looks like?
I don't know. Do you look?
Yeah, if I felt anything crawling on my arm, my first instinct would be to look to see what it is.
Yeah, when you glance down, you got that like sleepiness in your eyes, and you know you're wiping it away, and you look down and you don't really feel like you see much. But then as you kind of glance back down, you see that there's this small shape on your arm. And then when you blink again, it's starting to shift. You do that thing where it's the morning, you open your eyes as wide as possible, and it's starting to shift just up over your chest.
So what he'd do is he would basically take his hand like this, cover his neck, and move his hand down so the spider would move on top of it. Or I'm assuming it could be a centipede or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it's on his hand, he's gonna slowly move it in front of his, so he can see what it is.
Sure, it looks to just be like a common spider. Nothing poisonous or deadly. It just could be around to be catching any kind of bug in this place.
Oh, it doesn't phase in and out or anything like that?
No.
Yeah, as long as it's not phasing in twice my size. Sunn's going to basically, you know those orbs that like you whoosh, like that kind of, basically keep the spider walking around.
Okay.
And he's gonna walk over to the sill of the window, lay it down, and walk over to his stuff, grab his journal, and walk back to the window and just kind of start sketching.
Okay, I got you. When you place it on the windowsill, it sort of climbs up about a foot or so, and then you notice as you're down and sketching that it just jumps off of the wall and it sort of repels itself down, jumping again, and you can visibly see it starting to net a web before you.
The drawing would probably switch to another page, and then I'd probably draw the pattern that it's making.
Okay. Surbar, as you knock on the door to his room, Sunn, you will see the spider abruptly respond, like with the behemoth. You can see it kind of like pause and the whole web shake at the sound.
Come in.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that?
Sniper.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my apologies.
I was waiting.
Come in.
I keep forgetting what it's like having a Yeti. Since I never had one before. I'm sorry.
It's okay. What?
He seems to be rather invested in this the situation over by his windowsill,
Yeah,
to a degree that he's only he's sitting in a chair in a linen tunic with no pants on, biting his tongue, inherently just deep into this sketch.
Oh, I was just sketching. I feel a little bit more at home here. And he's going to stand up and go put on pants. Is there anything that you need? Do you have any wounds?
He says, "Is there anything that you need?" holding on to his pants.
It's like, should I take the belt off again?
Just meet us downstairs.
Sure thing. He's going to flash a casual smile.
I'm glad you said smile.
Yes, he's going to casually flash you before you leave, just slowly.
So is there anything that you need? As he just flips the front of his tunic up. Anything at all?
You don't need anything? Is there anything that you want?
Flip. Okay.
I just want to point out it wasn't me.
You're gonna get banned from stream.
Caught me with the spider.
Was me. Saw me drawing the spider. We could keep doing this all day long.
Saw me drawing on the
Saw me
windowsill.
drawing the spider.
So, Ulhime, when you inevitably get back to your room, you see that Jakob is exiting. Sorbar seems to be moving from room to room, and you will find that after you kind of glance around, some of the kids will run up and they'll slap over what looks to be some kind of trainer's outfit or trainee outfit over the top of the balcony or the ledge of your walk path to your room.
Cool.
When you glance down at it, it looks to be a little more limiting than what you were wearing, which was the equivalent of like a potato sack. But in this way, it's leathers, like it's all natural stuff. You're wearing like a deer hide leather shirt. In this case, it will cover pretty much your entire stomach, most of your upper torso to like right here, and then it straps up to the shoulders and will give you a shoulder basically strap over the top of it, and you'll have the equivalent of pants that do mostly the same in this case. They will fit over your legs, but they stop at the knee, and it gives you a flap to the front and a flap to the back. It's a trainee's outfit.
Cool. Would that be like typical? That'd be like armor of leather, right? It's just leather armor.
Yeah, it's just your basic leather armor. It doesn't really provide a lot, but it's more than what you had.
Yeah.
That being said, this is it's a little bigger on you than the others because even though children are still considered the small size category, they're still a bit taller than you, so you don't quite have the same midriff thing going on where they have several inches of belly that is exposed. Yours basically meets at the waist, so you will have protection, but not enough so that you feel like what you quite had previously as a dwarf.
This would be padded leather, right? The +1 armor, or it was just regular?
It's just is there just not like a leather available?
They have padded leather, which is +1, regular leather +2, studded leather +3.
This is regular leather.
Okay, so +2.
Yeah.
+6.
So with that, you'll see Ulhime kind of elongate the robes and stuff, and he'll kind of get dressed underneath the fully like undone cultist robes.
Sure.
And then once he's done, he'll put on like the boots and stuff, and he'll strap them together. And he'll take as he takes the gauntlet off, he'll kind of just like move his hand around a bit, let it air out, and then he puts the gauntlet back on, and then the bastard sword that he has, he'll shoulder with the gauntlet as he just kind of holds it up. Well, yeah, well, you seem like jump a little roomy, but a lot better than cultist robes. And then he'll kind of like roll them up into a ball, and then there's like any like laundry basket or something, I'll just kind of like stuff them in there.
Sure.
Like donate them to anyone.
You get a real sense of what your figure is actually like in this. While being a goblin is not as fruitful for you or protective as being a dwarf, where you felt like you could weather the elements just by naturally being yourself, you definitely have a bit more of a freed outlook on this. You feel like physically like a more free man. You were caught in the dregs of being a heavy being and constantly wearing heavy armor, and in this case, it's not the situation. You are thin, you are dexterous, you are mobile, you're even regarded as quite quick.
Well, yeah. Look at this, I can even jump higher. When you see him like jump past the banister where his feet are at, he's all, wow, look. Never could have done this in my own body. And he's gonna try to attempt a backflip. He's gonna look around. He's gonna like,
God damn it!
he's gonna try to do a backflip.
Do the wee
Please
man
tell me he doesn't do a
self-
swan dive off the balcony.
Give me an acrobatics.
Oh God, Will, you remember that one video of the dude doing it with the backflip in the crowd and then just fucking
11?
Yeah,
No.
it's a sticky landing, right? Like you start to flip, and as you do so, you don't kind of get your body around just yet. You're still not entirely aware of what your body is capable of, but you wouldn't have gotten even half this far as a dwarf.
Yeah.
You would have basically flipped onto your back, like just sprung straight up, landing right on the center of your back. In this case, you actually get over the top of your head, and you need your hands to kind of push you the rest of the way, but you'll come down to your knees and shins. It hurts a little bit, but you bounce up quickly. You bound back.
Okay. Well, that was a little higher than expected, but everything works out. Huh. Though I do miss the savage punch I used to deliver. Yeah, and you see him hit the banner. She's like, ah!
Oh!
He hits it with his unarmored hand. He's like, okay. Maybe take it a little slower than that. All right. No one saw that.
As you say, no one saw that. You overhear a voice that you haven't quite liked from the beginning. You hear him. I saw everything. Bring yourself downstairs. It's time to go back.
Very well. I'll make sure everyone's gathered. And he'll go back to the room and let Jakob know that it's time to go.
They're all downstairs waiting on you.
Very well. I will make my way down now.
Feels good, man. Feels good.
Yeah.
You'll arrive to the steps, and you can see your allies. They kind of lie in wait. Even Surabar has made it downstairs faster than you did. But then again, he wasn't testing out the capability of his body.
Yeah.
This time.
So he looks at the group. We're good to go, guys.
Well, that's an interesting look.
Yeah, Balthar was able to equip me with some armor. Like the look. Hey, it's better than the robes, all right?
No, I'll give you that. It's just odd not seeing you in armor.
Fully armored and being an unstoppable force for the will of Helm. I know, but still,
Unstoppable.
subtleties.
Well, I think maybe it's more the beard not being there.
Yeah,
That's going to take some getting used to too.
it's so weird. I actually looked down this morning and realized my chin hit my chest because there was no fluff to stop it. I just went, look, see, that's so.
It's been a while since you've seen the toes. No, I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not all bad. Hey,
Yeah,
look,
okay.
watch this. Watch. Look. And he's gonna try to do the backflip again.
Fucking dwarf eaters.
Ooh, fucking nailed it.
Nice. That time he shoddily sticks a standing backflip. No bonus to like running up a tree or anything like that. He just stands, leans over, and just backflips.
Rather impressive in heels.
Yeah.
And he'll just tuck his sword back into the small of his back, behind his belt, and look off to the others. Well, Ulhime, Klaus, seems like you two are the ones in the lead here. How are we getting back?
It's gonna be our friend here.
That's right. I will be sending you back. Are you all ready?
Not like we have much of a choice. Certainly.
Is there something you would like to say?
Can we not?
No, we're good.
Good. I'm glad you've all had your time to rest. Now back into the pit of the abyss. He breaks out a scroll and begins to read his magic as the sounds around you begin to cripple, begins to crush and crunch. This will burn up the scroll before him, and beholden unto you, a portal will tear into your environment. He uses his staff in hand to finish the rip, and he'll open this to pass you along.
And without a second thought, Jacob does take the lead, moving first.
I mean, Sunn follow. I mean, Sunn would follow. Jeez.
Wait. Okay. Guessing that's everyone then.
Pretty much.